Kubash?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to just remove the caps on all cabs, let them buy as many a day, or permits as they'd like, and let it be a fair market. We get paid about $500 for each permit.
Councilmember, you've made a motion. Is there a second? There is no second. Second from Councilmember Bradford. Councilmember Kubash's motion is that we remove all limits on the number of cab permits available in the city of Houston. But there are no council members in the queue wishing to discuss this. Councilmember Bradford.
Yes, now I'd like to ask Director Pies the impact of such. I'm not sure what the impact of such would be. Certainly there may be an opportunity for additional revenue, but another impact must be more broad than that. So if I may yield to Director Pies ARA.
There was a big move in the 70s and 80s, and I think Dr. Mundy even spoke about it in his study, to deregulate the market, and they just basically opened up the stand market, the hail market, and the dispatch market. And the adverse effects on customer service, because it didn't affect the dispatch market at all, but the stand market, for example, what we have at the airport, what we have at the hotels, those cab drivers, the demand didn't grow, so what you had was 2, 3, 4 times as many cab drivers trying to be in those stands as what they had originally. So they went back and re-regulated a decade later. We were still trying to recover. Seattle, many of the problems they've had, San Francisco, many of the problems they've had has been a result of that trying to re-regulate. Deregulating for those stand markets can be deadly for the industry. Doing it for the dispatch market, not so much, because we've already shown that pie can grow. For the hail markets, it would be, for the stand markets, it would be really detrimental.
Thank you. And this is one of the points that Dr. Mundy made in his report. Thank you. I don't know. I think we need to do further research on this. I'm not sure the impact, Councilman. I wanted to at least have some discussion, if we could generate discussion on it. The impact is broader, I think, than what has been even offered here. So, again, my second motion.
I'll remove my amendment if you want to.
I think we need more analysis, more review on this, because I can appreciate Director Pius, taking this part of Dr. Mundy's recommendation to say, let's use this. A good man, he's an expert. But on that $70 one, we don't want to do what that guy say. So I can appreciate that. It's withdrawn. Thank you.
Motion has been withdrawn. Are there any other amendments to be offered? Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. I just want to be clear. There are no other amendments on the table. We have the main item as amended. So I recognize Councilmember Boykin for comments on the main item as amended.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, as you know, and my colleagues, that my concern during this entire process has been about the independent cab drivers and small business owners. I think this process for me has been very valuable and will allow those cab drivers an opportunity to compete with their own business in new ways. We've talked about that around this table. However, I know that you agree that these drivers need to have an opportunity, expand opportunities to drive taxis under their own permits. Mayor, I would ask for a commitment from you that ARA would come present options to this council regarding how these drivers would have an opportunity and a shot under their own permits before we distribute new taxi permits.
Of course, Councilmember. I believe I'm looking at Director Pius. The next round of permits would be November.
Yes, ma'am. We will be publishing the number that will be distributed next month or later this month, and then November would be the distribution.
And can we accommodate the council member's request?
Yes, we will come back if we want with a non-codified ordinance that would delay the distribution, and then go into a process of determining how that distribution should be made.
Thank you.
Councilmember Laster.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you directly, and thank you to each of the council members around the table. I think today has been a profoundly important day for this council to be able to have an ongoing respectful dialogue about this very important piece of legislation. Director Paez and Mr. Newport for all the work that you all have done for the past many, many months. I want to thank you too, even when we give you all a hard time. You've done a stellar job and you've worked very hard. In spite of that, I don't know that I'm going to be able to support this main ordinance because I believe it is fundamentally flawed. And I think it's fundamentally flawed primarily because we have put the public in danger by not having a full scope of insurance available to them. That being said, again, I thank you for your hard work, and I thank this council because I think what we've done here today is important, and I hope that some of you join me in trying to protect the consumer. Thank you, Mayor.
Hey, Councilmembers, just a reminder, we still have a whole agenda to get through. Councilmember Davis, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Davis.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I too would like to say there's some things that we weren't able to set forth in this with the amendments, and again, I don't know if I'll be able to support it because again, I just look at the basic business man and woman who started their company, and I just think we're going to cause some problems for them and Houstonians, and so I too will not be in support of this item.
Councilmember Brad.
Thank you. There are still issues that are unresolved as it relates to the insurance, the gap issue, protection for our citizens. In addition to that, I don't think that we've done enough to level what has been called the playing field. The taxes are still, I still have a question about the airport fee issue. In addition to that, the taxes are required to, as an example, give senior discounts, and I don't think that TNCs are going to give senior discounts. There's nothing prohibiting the TNCs from doing cancellation of fees that has not been dealt with. And we made a decision today to limit the number of cabs on the street, but not to limit the number of TNC driver vehicles throughout the industry. We made a decision not to do that. The market can only bear so much. And put all that to the side, the Texas State Legislature gave cities in the state of Texas an opportunity to exercise the authority to impound vehicles if in fact it was discovered that the drivers of those vehicles did not have insurance. They didn't show financial responsibility, they didn't have insurance.